Okay, let us finish our marketing chapter. So, uh, again, the job of the marketing is very much complicated. We have a lot of new technology these days. So, because of high tech, internet, and new communication technology, lots of value chain of the firms are transformed, which means that the way of companies doing business, distributing product, finding their customers are radically transformed, changed. However, which means that the marketing practice also changed. However, the fundamentals of the marketings are very much same, right? First, you have to understand what kind of market, what kind of things going on out there. So you have to scan the environment, and then you have to determine what particular target of the group of people or what particular target of the market you are going to focus. And then, based on that specific group of target market, you determine what you call 4Ps: product, promotion, price, and place strategy. So those four process of job is pretty much fundamentals in marketing. So that actually what you are going to learn in marketing courses, whether it is domestic marketing and international marketing. So let us then talk about what is 4Ps: promotion, the product strategy, promotion strategy, price strategy, and place strategies, which are the fundamentals of the marketing practice. So those four are what I call four marketing mix. So those marketing mix really different from company to other companies, from company to other firms. So we mentioned a lot, like even companies in same business, same industry actually deploy very different types of marketing mix. We know that the marketing department, marketing guys are really at the front of the value chain, right? So what marketing guys are doing is really critical to your company's value creation, revenue maximization, profit maximization as well. So very much dynamic, but very challenging. Right? So how you actually determine your firm's specific marketing mix are really, really crucial to your business. So let's talk about first then what is product strategy. So just say that you already know what specific marketing, target market, what specific market segments that you are going to focus, right? So your marketing mix pretty much based on that specific market segmentation. So make sure to know that very clearly, right? So these are what I call a marketing mix: product strategy, price strategy, promotion strategy, and place strategies. So let's talk about one by one. So let's talk about first what is product strategies. We just briefly talked a little bit about this one. Product strategy is simply means that you impose a specific value, meaning onto your products, so that the customers perceive value from your product service, which may be different from others. Right? Your product service should not be exactly identical to other competitors' products. So differentiating your product service are very important. So how can you differentiate it? So that's product strategies. You can change. You have a very unique name. You put very unique name onto your product. That's part of the product strategies. You may have a very different design of the product by having different packaging, by putting different colors, by providing also different after service like warranty, or by putting accessories which are very unique way. And you may have like a kind of a very different service. A lot of car companies actually these days providing, say, after sales service programs like say a 5-year guarantee, right? So if the car is broken less than 5 years, the car actually fix it without charging any your cost. So that the service program may be also part of the product's strategy. So these are the example of product strategies. So we said that I think among other promotion, pricing, and place strategy, I think the determining your product strategy should be, I think, the first job for you to determine, right? So which means that compared to other promotion, pricing, and place strategy, I think the product strategy is really critical in marketing mix. So without really defining, say, designing on this product, kind of determining the nature of the product, feature of product, you just cannot really point out the following other marketing mix. So product strategy really important compared to other marketing mix. So just think about if you say try to sell product, right? So before you think about deciding your product strategy, I think what we can say here is that you have to categorizing what products you are actually selling. There are many different kinds of product, right? Convenient product, right? Kind of product that you can actually purchase every day in very routine way, and you can actually purchase it from everywhere without any difficulty. Let me briefly talk about what are those 4P first, and then we just talk about a little more in detail one by one. And then, like, the next step is you have to decide pricing strategy. You have to set price, right? So how can you put the price onto your product? You have to think about, or you have to estimate potential demand in the market. So sometimes you may set price by your estimation of the potential demand. That may be the one way, like break-even analysis, as we can check from our textbook. That is actually a strategy of setting price based on your estimation of the potential customers, potential demand. So say if you run business, say if you open a restaurant and you have to put the price for each menu onto your in your restaurant. So before the one way of putting the price on your menu is actually first you may estimate how many customers, guests you will have every day, per month, per years. So based on potential that size of the demand, you may roughly calculate price of your menus. So that is one way. And the other way is actually just compare your competing restaurant and look at their price. And you also may roughly estimate what will be maximizing the satisfaction of customers. If you are the restauranteurs, then you may imagine what price really you are willing to pay in comparison with your, say, competing restaurant menu, the price of your competing restaurant menu. So that may be the other way. So roughly there are two types of pricing strategies. So in that sense, so you look at potential market size, potential demand, or you may look at the satisfaction or customer value of individual, say, customers, or just look at your cost. So when you actually make something, there should be cost followed by that you're, say, providing provision and manufacturing the items. So based on your cost, you add up some kind of a profit, right? So let's say that at least I should get 30% out of my cost, what we call a markup. So by adding some percentage added to your cost, then the total will be your cost. So say if I sell, say, noodle, for instance, you may say that when I sell one noodle, at least I should get 20% as my profit. So that in that case, that 20% may be your markup, what we call a markup. So that means based on the cost of your noodle making, you add up 20% more, and then the final will be the price. So you may think about the price based on your cost of manufacturing plus your, say, wishful, say, profit out of that cost, what we call investment. So that may be another way. So roughly, I think without really understanding this pricing, say, formula and strategy, I think if you really run business by yourself, pretty much without relying on the textbook, these three methods may be your, say, approach to your pricing method. But let me tell you later, like how you set the price, no matter what your, say, intuition, judgment, calculation may tell you, the price of your product really, really impact your revenue, and which in turn impact your, say, profit. So choosing the right profit is really, really critical to the success of your business. So that's why companies, even though they know what should be the rational price of your product, but sometimes they even charge more, or they sometimes even charge much less strategically. So you have to be very rational in your price setting, but when you actually employing that price, you may actually sometimes you have to use your intuition sometimes. So price setting is very rational process, but you need much more kind of your experience, irrational judgment, experience, and so on. And distribution strategy, on the other hand, also what I call a place strategy, means how you are going to deliver your product. I mean, probably your mother probably acknowledged this part when, I mean, pretty much like when you buy agricultural product from farmers, you mostly go to the supermarket and then pay, and you buy fruit, vegetable, and so on at certain price. But the farmers' price on that products are far less actually. Right? So if you really go and approach directly to the farmer to buy that agricultural products, unbelievably, the price of that, say, agricultural products are so low. However, when you actually purchase it from the department store or supermarket, you actually pay much higher price, because there are a lot of distribution channel between you and farmer, a lot of, say, intermediaries between you and farmers. So from the manufacturer's point of view, let's say that you are the manufacturer, or say you are the farmers, and you have to distribute your agricultural product. Then how you distribute, deliver your product to customers are really critical, right? If you are able to directly deliver the agricultural product to every single household, then probably you can, you can sell them at far less price, which each single household greatly happy about your price, which means that from the manufacturer's point of view, they have to think about how to deliver the product. Are you going to use intermediaries like retailers, wholesalers, or it's better for you to deliver by yourself? So which one is better, right? Depending on your choice, you can actually put a very different pricing here, right? As well as customer satisfaction. So place strategy, also we call a distribution strategies, are really, really important from the marketing guy's perspective, and promotion strategy as well. Your products should be recognized. No matter how good it is, people won't buy it if customers do not know what it is. So you have to advertise it. So question is then, like, how are you going to let other people know your product? The cost of promoting your products are so expensive, right? Like hiring few seconds from the TV, radios are so expensive. We know that the impact of that is so huge. However, the price you have to pay to that, say, media companies are so high. So you have to compromise between, say, relying on, say, mass media company or some other way of advertising it, of your product to increase your brand recognition to the customers. So point is, what is the best efficient way for your, say, promotion strategy of your product? Sometimes it may be more efficient to sell your product by simply hiring more sales agents from in-house staff, or it may be even impact more by simply sponsoring a major sports event or sponsoring celebrities and so on. So which way is the best promotion strategy? So that is also part of the marketing guy's job. So it already sounds very much complicated, right? So they do product, price, distribution, promotion strategy. They have to concern this one. So let's talk about product strategy first. So product means physical good and service that is actually offering, as you see here, benefits to the customers. So when we say product strategy, that means that you have to determining the characteristics of your product. Right? Depending on how you defined or putting meaning on to your product's characteristic, customers may feel different values and different values. But if you say choose the right product strategy, right, if you impose, say, very attractive characteristics, attributes to your product, you may create a very strong brand loyalty. Right? So, simply say these are some of the constructs of the characteristic of the product. Product can be characterized by this nature. So, you may differentiate some of this by differentiating some of this. You may have a very different product strategies. So at the end, anyway, the products are products, right? So like cosmetics, for instance, cars, fundamentally they are pretty much the same, but we just feel they are different because all of these are different. Right. So how can you then determine the nature of this product? So before you actually deciding the this kind of product nature, you have to first what kind of products that you are selling here. Say there are consumer products. If we classifying the products into different categories, there are consumer products on one group. There are unsought products. There are convenient products, there are shopping products, and there are specialty products. Simply say, if you just go down from top to bottom, that means, according to the marketing studies, if you move from here to there, I mean, the classification from top to bottom years is done by how much effort and time the consumers are required to differentiate products. Like consumer product, like, I don't know, it is really true for individual of you. Just like if you choose tissue or soap, are you spending a lot of effort to choose tissue or soap? No, you just pick anything. So you don't really requiring a lot of effort, time, energy, and so on, right? Concentration for choosing, deciding product. But like specialty products, you really think seriously, right? Sometimes hours, days, and so on, right? Like jewelry, or which restaurant you go, or which car you buy. Nobody here may say, let's buy this car. How can you here say, how many of you here say, I buy this car in few seconds? I think especially also which restaurant you go for your dating, for instance. So this kind of product, what I call specialty products, you seriously thinking a lot. So which means that as you move from top to bottom, which means that the marketing costs tend to increase more. So as consumers spend more time, energy, resource, effort for particular product, that product requires a lot more budget for advertisement, a lot more budget for marketing. So like if you sell a consumer product, for instance, like tissue, according to the say studies or theory, the companies selling consumer product tend to spend less money on marketing compared to a specialty product. That's what what we can really find from the from marketing studies. But in real practice, there might be a lot of variation. So the point is that before you deciding the product strategy, you have to determine what products that you are selling. Are you selling, your products are part of a shopping product or consumer product or specialty products? So depending on the categories, you have to think about how much effort, budget you are required for your marketing practice. When you say product, that product you may think that something that delivered to the customers like us here, but sometimes some products are delivered to the companies, right? It's what you call a business product. So like machines or say equipment, we don't really buy machines for making something, right? You don't really buy that one and putting that one in your room. So if you sell, say capital products, which are used for making, manufacturing something, then you also requiring different mechanisms of, say, marketing, the product strategies. So the point is, what kind of product that you are really selling? So that's the first job for you to determine the product strategies. So the next job is not really the job. The next important thing is that once you determine what kind of product, what category of product you are selling, you have to think about branding, right? So branding means, as you see here, you put some image or values or meaning to the customers, so that customers may feel your product quite differently. So without giving a differentiation perception, there's no way for you to sell more. There's no way really, not many ways to attract more customers away from your competitors. So that's why companies try to put a lot of trademark, a lot of logos, a lot of very different service warranties to their product. So the reason try to putting a very significant different brand image is simply try to secure long-term loyalty. I mean, loyalty customers, which contribute the major part of your revenues, rather than attracting, say, very short-term individual consumers. Just establishing, securing loyalty customers, long-term loyalty customers are better to your, say, business. So that's why the branding is very important. So if you plan to run your business, product strategy, which representing also a branding, is important. So these are some of the tips about how to make a very attractive brand name to your product. Easy to pronounce, easy to recognize, easy to remember, importantly, should be very short, and so on. So these are some of the tips. So but the important thing is that, like, creating your own brand image, setting brand strategy is not really easy job, right? So that's why there are a lot of collaboration, right? So like car companies together with audio company making, say, good something, for instance. So this day, a lot of global firms are collaborating to provide a kind of a product together. So that's kind of what I call a co-branding, right? So kind of a marketing practice, right? Try to make themselves a different. So the point is that, so that is the co-branding, right? So several business partners together create unique nature of the product. But sometimes manufacturers set that brand strategies. That's what I call a manufacturer brand. Or sometimes wholesaler or distributor may involve in brand creation. I think the product strategies are very much inclusive, encompassing actually various different marketing strategy. Even like R&D, new product development, you may think that it is part of the research and development department's job, but it is actually also a very important job of the marketing department. Product innovation, new product introduction, invention, innovation. So most of these ideas this day created not by engineers, scientists in the lab, but by the marketing people, marketing guys. So how a company then create a new product? How do you think that a company introduce new product, new service? What are the process of introducing new product, if you imagine? Yeah. So market research, right? Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm asking you this one is, as you said that based on market research, companies start to create new product, innovation, right? That's exactly. But in the past, and I think that's how company actually introduce new item this day. They look at what market wants. But like in the past, the process of innovation was that the company set the goal first, and then based on that goal, a lot of brainstorming actually going on by also inviting a lot of focus group from the customers, and they create ideas based on that focus group and brainstorming and test that product, and then they finalize the product and test it again for a particular market segment, and then introduce to the real market if it is successful. But as you say, rather than like company driven approach, they look at the market first, of course, and then try to develop what market want. So these are product development process. I mean, these are, I think, however, these are kind of really the story in the past. Not many really company this day set the goal first and then start carrying on something from the goal to materialize in more realistic, but that's not really the way of the product development this day. I think that one of the really famous concept in marketing, we talk about like 4 P's. You determine marketing strategies, right? Product promotion, price, and place strategies. But that is actually conditioned on what product life cycle of the your products are located. Let's say that if your product or services are at mature stage, I mean, we have a life cycle, right? Like if you are 20s, right? So you are 20s means what stage of your life cycle according to this map? Still growth, right? So 20, 30, that's pretty much growth stage. And 40, 50, 60s, mature stage. And 70, and after that, pretty much declining stage. So, which means that depending on your life cycle, your goal of the life, your strategy of living should not be the same, right? Right? So you are 20s, but so you are at growth stage, but your strategy should not be something suitable for mature stage, right? So whatever your stage, whatever your strategy is, that should fit your life cycle. That's basically the ideas of the product life cycle. Every product does have their life, right? So to set the strategy of 4Ps for a particular product, you have to understand what life cycle of that product is. So for your product at growth stage, what does that mean? What does the growth stage of the product? The answer is already here, right? Growth stage means that your products are selling more and more every day, right? And because of it, your price start to decreasing, not really increasing, but your price are quite steady and about to going down because you sell more and more. And because of your sales increase, your profit also goes up. So which means that your business are really rolling well. But still, you expect a lot more growth, a lot more sales. So that's exactly the growth stage. So in that stage, what should be your product strategy, promotion strategy, price strategy, and place strategy? Right. So the point is, your marketing mix should be designed based on your right understanding of product life cycle. That's actually the point. Like a product at the initial stage, like introduction, what should be, say, promotion, product, price, and place strategy? Just think about it. If you just introduce an item, what should be the price? How you are going to deliver it? How are you going to advertise it? Right? What kind of nature you are going to emphasize? You have to think about. If your products are just launched, at the introduction stage, you should be more like fancy, luxurious. The price is expensive.
Could be, depending on the place.
Yeah. So yeah, probably the manager of that restaurant think that the product, the service there should be that way in that like introduction stage. Possibly, right? But some other, say, restaurant manager may think quite opposite way. So this is actually the concept, right? What stage of your life cycle stage of your products are? Right, so your 4Ps are determined, critically associated with that life cycle of your product. So these are some of the characteristics of the growth stage, mature stage, decline stage. So think about what marketing. These are, I just summarize here. But again, these are very generic explanations. So your case may not be fitting to this recommendation here. So this is just kind of a suggestion in general, right? So in introduction stage, the product strategy should be competitive advantage. So as you said, it should be like more fancy. You should using like fancy dishes, some gold leaves, something like that. Yeah. I see. So okay. I understand. So the point again, like how you define the stage of your product, it's very difficult. So in restaurant case, you said it may be mature stage or growing stage or what?
For example, if you're
Yeah. Okay. So I understand. So probably this suggestion, as you said, may be applying when you actually introduce something new in something new market, right? But as his example case, the restaurant may introduce something
So you're
into.
actually on the third stage,
Mhm.
and you're trying to differentiate
Mm-hmm.
your
I see.
product.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Smart. Okay. Right. Right. So applying actually framework theory to your case, your case are very specific all the time, always. So just putting theories, framework automatically to any cases is not really leading you to the right some answers. Yeah, that's pretty good point. Mm. So I understand you say that this framework may be applied only to the case what you just described. Yeah, I think that's.
Like that's how I understand.
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like
that,
when
that,
I
that
saw this table.
yeah, that is right. Yeah, that is actually how we teach this concept in the classroom. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's have a break, and then so we know what it is. Product strategies. You're just deciding the nature about your brand, and what about then the pricing strategies, promotion strategies, and distribution strategies. So let's talk about that one after the break. And we also the pricing strategy is also another important strategy in marketing mix. So like price of your products are key aspects for your profit maximization, and also a way for you to achieve your investment return, and also a way for your, say, what I call value pricing, the way for you to satisfy your customers. So again, the price set really critical to your business. So how can you actually, what should be normally how businessmen set the price for the companies? I mean, if you work for the company, I think you may suddenly quickly find that your company is really concerned the cost structure of the target, right? So let's say that you make ice cream, and the cost of making one ice cream of your companies are, say, 5,000 won, right? 5,000 won. So that is the cost of your making your ice cream. But what about the cost of your competitors? Can you really know it? So that is actually the questions. There should be some cost of TV making of Samsung, right? But what about the cost of one TV making of LG? Does these two competitors know exactly the cost structure of each other? They roughly know, however, they do not really precisely know. So the question is why you really want to know the cost structure of the competitors? Why?
Because normally you don't want your price to be higher than your
Yeah.
competitors.
So if you understand the cost correctly of the target, competitors, and of course, you know the price of the competitor's product, right? If you just go to the market, you can easily find the price. So price, if you know price, if you know the cost, then you understand how much money they make, right? So that's why understanding the cost is so important However, that's kind of a secret of the firm. And also, understanding the cost is the most critical to your, say, pricing strategies. So, like revenue, sales, right? Sale is simply the price multiplied by the number of the items sold, right? So that's the revenue, right? Minus total cost that's the profit. Right? So that's actually your money earned, right? So you know what's your total cost because it is your company, right? So if you increase your price of the of your product by keeping the number of products sold constant, then certainly your product goes up, right? If you lower the price of your product by keeping constant of your product item, then your profit goes down, obviously. But the point is that if you increase the price of your product, then nobody knows whether your number of product items sold really going constant. It also goes up and down all the time, depending on the price and and also relative to the competitor's price. So that's why you just cannot really increase the price in order to increase the profit of yourself, and you just cannot also decrease your product price, because if in that case your profit shrink. So then what is the right level of the price? Before we're talking about that, the 3 rules you must remember to set the price, to set the optimum price. The first one is, of course, your profit should maximum all the time. So that's the rule number 1, of course. The number 2 is that your money investment should be maximum, right? Simply say, this is your cost, so what you get out of your cost should be maximum, of course. Nobody wants a minimum return out of your cost and investment. So maximum return out of your investment is also rule number 2. And rule number 3 is that customers should like it, of course. The customer feel a maximum satisfaction upon your, say, price. You charge high price, but consumers do not think that that price doesn't deserve their, say, purchasing intention. Then simply the customers won't buy your item. So these are the 3 rules of the pricing strategies. So before we're talking about right price, theoretically, you actually end up with what is the right price for your product by using the calculation. However, that price is not really the price that you really put on the market. Based on that calculation, you apply your strategy, such as price skimming strategy, or penetration pricing strategy, or odd and even pricing strategy, and so on. So the point is, the calculation here, of course, you follow that calculation, or based on that calculation, you may use, say, price skimming here. Simply means that start high at the beginning, more than your calculation, but gradually lower and lower your product price. That may be the price skimming strategies. you know that this price may be the right price, but you start lower price at the beginning, and but as you have more customers, you gradually increasing the price. That may be your strategies. Or odd and even pricing. Say that $10 is the price of your product upon your calculation, but you may charge like $9.99. Sounds cheaper than say just putting $10. Strategically, looks you save a dime. I mean a penny here. So consumers may feel they save money, which may not really true. So a lot of say pricing strategies based on your calculation. Price skimming, for instance, you just start putting expensive, high price and gradually lower and lower. What product normally take this kind of strategy? At the beginning, they charge high, but gradually lower and lower. Which product you think using this kind of strategy? Mobile phone? What? Only in Korea, right? So when they introduce it, very expensive, right? But a few months later, the price just go down. So price skimming strategies. Why? Did you really agree?
No, not really. I think it works at one time only. But if you keep doing that, the consumers will think, oh, they will lower the price eventually. But so it's not gonna really create an image of quality in the consumers' mind.
Create image of good quality. Yeah.
Because that was the purpose. But if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, the consumers will think
People.
it's not really worth the price.
Okay, so, but the mobile phone company keep using this strategy anyway, right? I don't know. I just use mobile phone more than 5 years, so I'm not really a easy changer of the mobile phone. But say I don't know. So anyway, the mobile phone company use this kind of a tactic all the time. So that's why the advantage of that. So, but as you said, that may not be really. That may be disadvantage. But anyway, the point is that a lot of companies use price skimming strategies. What about then? Yeah. So these are some other pricing strategies. Again, the calculation may tell you the right price, but as I told you, the company do not really exactly follow that strategy. They may use these strategies by referring to that calculation. Leader pricing, maybe also pricing strategies. Like department store, they put abnormally high markup pricing. Let's say that, I mean, a lot of, say, Korean company does this one. If you just go to the the supermarket, they are now massive sale, about to do a massive sale for winter, like 50% sales, 40% sale, and so on. So you may think that by doing that massive sales, company would be less profitable, right? Of course, their profit may be going down because of their price reduction, but they still make a lot of money because of this markup thing. Like normally, I don't know, according to the studies, the department stores may add like 50 to 60% of markup for their pricing. Like, let's say that the markup price, let's say that your ice cream costs 7,000 won, right? And the cost of your ice cream making is, say, 5,000. So this is the cost, and this is the price. So how much money you actually earn? 2,000. So 2,000 divided by 7,000 is what? About 30, right? So that 30 is what I call markup. So your cost of making ice cream, one ice cream is 5,000, right? And then you just arbitrarily add, let's say that by making, it cost me 5,000. So by selling one ice cream, I wish to get, say, 30% of, say, profit. So by that calculation, let's say the price of the ice cream should be somewhere 7,000. So that's what I call markup pricing. So you just arbitrarily, by looking at your competitors or say industry norm or industry standard, say in our industry, mostly 40% is markup, which means that simply say 40% is profit. So you add up 40% over your cost. So that is the price. So in department store business, like 50 to 60% is markup. So clothing cost, when they department store buy clothing, there should be some purchasing cost for the department store, and that purchasing cost they add up, say 50 to 60% of markup, right? That is the price of clothing in department store, which means that like adding 50 to 60% of markup is very high actually. So that's why the department store still making profit even if they do a lot of price reduction, go on seasonal sales. Like also bundling like 1+1, right? Then maybe also part of price strategy, like odd and even pricing, $9.99 instead of putting $10, right? So sounds cheaper, right? Looks cheaper. And prestige pricing, like handbags. They put, I know that some handbags add up the price 20% every year. But still, ladies are crazy for it, right? So that's kind of a prestige pricing. So a lot of say pricing strategies company use. So the point is that no matter what strategy you may choose, you have to anyway have your say the right price. What is the right price of your product? Based on, say, your calculations. Without knowing it, you just cannot really choose what is the right, say, pricing. So in that sense, as we say, mentioned earlier, like markup pricing or break-even analysis are some of the very popular way of, say, price setting calculations. So let's talk about that one on next Tuesday, okay? And then, yeah, I will check the schedule next week, and then I will send you today our plan of the remaining week schedules, right? Which group presenting on which date, and when will be our review, and when will be our final exam.